Is Mother Earth gonna be okay?
I am responding to what is taking place all around. If you are in service to life, you will be safe. Our souls have chosen, I believe, to be here now and to hold the tension of what is devastating and also what is beautiful. Humans, understandably, do not like to lean into their fears. They do not like to peel away the layers of their fears. And so what I can tell you is that you needn't go there right now. What is most important is that...
Are you ready to shine? Shine bright. Woohoo! Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. If you've ever wondered what in the world is going on with the world and planet Earth, then do we have the Messages from Gaia Stephanie Banks show for you. Today, I'll be talking with Stephanie Banks, author, intuitive channel, medium, spiritual guide, mentor, and self-proclaimed tree hugger, along with me, planet protector, and animal lover. And that's just what I want to talk with her about today, about messages from Mother Earth and what she's trying to share with us and where we go from here. That, plus we'll talk to any other guides, sort of like the sun, who need to come through. So welcome to the show, Stephanie. Are you ready to shine?
I am so ready, Michael. Let's do it.
Woohoo! And you are shining like the sun today. So we're not going to start with the sun. We're going to start with Mother Earth. So before we dive right into things, is Mother Earth going to be okay?
Well...
Oh, no. Can we start the show again?
I think the question is, are we going to be okay?
That was going to be second.
Yeah, okay. She will always return to what she needs to do to take care of herself, but we are her. So she's trying to take care of us and herself, and it's becoming nearly impossible.
Okay, we're going to dive into channeling quickly, probably about 5 minutes from now then. Give me the briefest, because once you forgive everybody, this is right before Thanksgiving, but once you lay the bomb of it's almost nearly impossible, it's like, holy smokes. All right, so give us Stephanie Banks 101. How did you get to this place? Who did you start channeling first? Why did you start channeling her first? How did you start channeling all these different entities and now Mother Earth, among others?
I started channeling my mother, actually, and it wasn't me channeling her. It was me inviting my best friend to channel her for me, because my mother had dementia and I was finding it impossible to communicate with her and stay connected with her.
And an early age dementia.
Correct. She had frontotemporal dementia, which started its symptoms in her 50s. And this is not as uncommon as we might think. So,
is that Bruce Willis?
Oh, could be.
So.
Could be. Yeah. Yeah. So, it changes your personality. It changes how you express yourself in the world. It changes what you are able to understand and what other people are trying to express to you. It's really a bit of a beast. So I was finding, even with my background as a clinician, as a speech pathologist, that I was not getting it right with her, and we kept missing each other, and it was really rough. So my best friend was a channel. I say was because she's on the other side now. And I begged her to channel my mom's soul. I needed to know, what are we here to do together? How am I able to support you? What do you need from me? And I wanted to share what I needed from her, because neither of us were getting our needs met. So that's where I learned to channel out of necessity, to preserve the relationship with my mother. And since then, thanks to excellent mentors, most especially my best friend, I can channel anything, anyone, any soul that's on the earth I can channel, which is great fun. Are a parent and you want me to channel the soul of your child, I can do that. The soul of your spouse or partner or supervisor, I can do that. But my deep heart's passion is really for this planet and all life upon her. So I include Gaia, Mother Earth, in the channeling because she has a whole lot to say. She's got great love for us. and is asking us to step into a grander version of ourselves so that we can return to balance and harmony. It is possible. But as we know, she is suffering. We know that because we're suffering. And if she suffers, we suffer. If we suffer, she suffers. It works like that.
Thank you. All right. So then how does channeling work from you, and how quickly can we shift the dial? For instance, I'd love to go to Mother Earth. I'd love to go to the sun, to the galaxy. And I'm not just a sci-fi geek. I'm an everything geek, but certainly a science geek. And we had the recent rocket ship take off to from Cape Canaveral, just up the road, so to speak, 100 miles from you, to Jupiter's moon of Europa this week to look for signs of life there. So can we shift from all of those? Is that doable in this time that we have together?
Yeah, we can. I mean, it's just a matter of asking for the information we're looking for, or the insight, or the origin of where we'd like to get our information. I'll tune into it. If it's not going to be that particular energy or entity, I'll be told what we're getting, and then I can channel a message that we will benefit from that perspective.
Okay, beautiful. Then let us start with Mother Earth, since you gave us such a gift, shall we say, at the beginning of the show.
Okay. All right. And then I would ask you, if you tune into your heart for a moment, what questions would you like to articulate for Mother Earth?
Oh, I have a list.
Great. Great.
So let me know. We're ready already? All
Yeah, I'm
right.
ready. I'm going to tune into all of the questions. I don't know which will be answered, but you will articulate them out loud to me.
Okay. Question number one. Stephanie mentioned at the beginning of the show that it may be almost impossible to help Mother Earth for humanity at this time. I try to be a hope-filled show, realist, but a hope-filled show. Where are you at, Mother Earth or Gaia? And do you prefer, which terminology or nomenclature do you prefer? And how dire are things right now?
Okay, let's tune into that. Well, I am listening always, as you likely know. And what I heard was your query was more about, am I going to be okay? And therefore, the response was more around that particular question. And it does indeed remain to be seen, for you can see quite easily, I would say, that I am not okay. And you know this because there is great suffering all around for all life. And you can see and feel this because this species are forced into mass exodus, and you can feel this because there are droughts, and there are storms, as you call them, and there is fiery energy all around. And you know that it is my preference to meet fire with quenching, and you know that it is my preference to bring back balance wherever possible. And you know that this is the proper order of things to bring back into harmony and into balance, so that I may do my job of providing and nourishing and protecting those that I love, which is all life upon me, all life, no one better than the other, no hierarchy whatsoever. All of life is of equal importance to me. And so, in your question, will I be okay? It really is determined by the behaviors, the actions, the hearts, the spirits, the intentions, and again, I say the actions of the humans. For you do carry this in your power. You are making decisions each and every day about yourselves, about your relationship to me or lack thereof, about your willingness to remain asleep or to continue to awaken, as difficult and uncomfortable and challenging as that may be. So I'm asking you to do the hard work. I am asking you to bring yourself to a different space and a different state and a different level of understanding. Yes, I am asking you to hug our trees, because why wouldn't anybody want to do that? This is a beautiful way of being in loving exchange. And yes, I am asking you to care for the lowly worm. I say that quite humorously because I elevate the worms and the creatures that are closest closest to my surface, to the highest way. But yes, I am asking you to notice them, to recognize them as part of a web that you are simply a part of as well. Are they in harm's way? Can you move them? Are you about to step on one? Can you move it to safety? These are the types of things I would like to invite you to awaken to. And if you are awakening to all of the various life forms, then you and I, we're good. We are so good. We are in joy and we are in pleasure and we are in acceptance of one another, because the next questions will be, and these questions can only come about if you find yourself connecting to and loving all of life itself. The next question will be, how can I'm speaking for you now, be in greater service? How can I show up as a better protector? How can I show up as one who is in harmony and in the questioning of the deeper, more difficult questions of my inner being? That is where I would love to invite everybody to be. And so, since you are yourself, dearest one, a channeler, and since you are in favor of the written channeled word, I would ask that you bring yourself to a regular practice of channeling especially specific questions from me directly. This is not exactly new to you. I'm just inviting you into a deeper practice. And what I know of you is that you will take that on, and you will utilize that to teach those who are paying attention, to teach those who are awakening. And so what you call me is entirely up to you. I have no preference for labels. I have no use for labels, for I am the all that has ever been, and you can rightfully claim that for yourself as well. And so if we are joining one another in that way, then you call me what you wish. It does indeed make sense for me to be referred to in some form or fashion, however, as mother. Don't you agree? The great provider. Don't you agree? That which sustains and protects all life. Don't you agree? So any names, any languages that offer reverence and appreciation and acknowledgement in that way will elevate the way that we are able to communicate with one another. Me to receive you, you to receive me. That's how it goes. And so, are we at a dire point? Of course we are. You must be completely disconnected to think anything less. And is everyone and every bit of life at risk? Of course it is. You must be completely disconnected to think anything less. And so, am I afraid? No, I do not carry fear. Am I off balance? Yes, as are you. Am I hopeful? I do not carry hope. I simply carry, period. End of story. And so, how will you carry your energy and love for me so that we may work together to bring about the shift that all want to see, which is life serving life, serving life?
I guess I would say thank you, thank you, thank you. A big question that comes in at this time, and I can't believe I'm going to go there, is Mother Earth climate has become politicized to where you literally believe that we can do something, or believe this is natural, or to take it to the next level, you believe that all the dire consequences are actually HARP or man-made or engineered, and that this is all done as a political ploy to get votes, to get money, to do something. How do we tell what's really going on with Mother Earth? And how do we know if we can really make a difference, or if this is all geoengineered and we're helpless and hopeless in this situation?
To this I will say, let us begin with the most basic. You read and you repeat. You read and you repeat. You read and you repeat. It is incumbent upon you to find those whose work in the world, as you might call it, is from the most sound of practices. You will call it science. That is fine. We can call it science. And so you follow along with the science, that which has been tested, that which has been proven, that which can be seen, that which can be measured, keeping in mind that most things that truly matter cannot be fully measured, but that is not the direction we are going in. That is not what you are asking. You read what is there to read and understand. As you understand, so too do you repeat it, not simply by quoting, although that will be useful, but by placing it into your language, your words, your understanding, your inner calls to your own action, and bring emotion to it. Won't you please let yourself be seen with the energy of emotion flowing through you? For here is where humanity is right now. If it does not come connected to a person, to a story, to an emotion, to a real and lived experience, it is oh so easy to become politicized, to divorce the humans from their deep love for and with me. And so, as you are learning, and you have been learning for quite some time, and you will continue to learn, please share almost immediately what it is that has been shocking to you, that has been illuminating to you, that has been hope creating within you, because the humans do need to have a sense of what is possible. And everything, let me be perfectly clear, everything is possible right now, but not from a place of complacency, and not from a place of status quo, and not from a place of let's see what happens. We all know, hopefully, we all know what that will lead to. It has led to where things are at present moment and where things are headed. So there is always space for transformation. There is always space for healing. There is always space for transcension, connection, love, expansion, etc. So we must work for that, towards that. And to that end, I offer you the following. Number one, for those who are feeling called, create your top 3 list of the speakers, of the teachers, of the researchers who base their information in proof, in that which can be validated. Create your list and read something each week from each of those writers, teachers, leaders, scientists. Number 2, take the sentence or the statement or the paragraph or the data point that you have learned, that has landed in a deep place within you. You will know this because your body will show you this, and allow for it to have its way within you. Allow for it to move about. Where exactly does it settle? Where does it affect you? What emotion does it invoke within you? Then write just a little bit about what you are present to. Number 3, before you feel as though that little bit you have written, that you believe now that you understand only slightly better, before it is polished, before it is perfect, before you have played the editor for time endless, share it. Share it with your closest, then share it with your next outer circle and your next outer circle, and then share it as though you are one who was charged with speaking into the abyss, because it is only through the raising of your voice, even if you do not know exactly what you are speaking of, you are sharing a small bit of what you have learned that has moved you. If it has moved you, it will move others. If it moves others, that is the movement we are all going towards.
Thank you. Can you tell us, and it still doesn't fully, I think we're still a little bit lost as to whether there's geoengineering and things going on of that sort. So I'd love to know more about that. And are you as a spirit staying on planet Earth, or are you evolving off of Earth during this time as well?
You're asking if she as a spirit is staying earthbound? Okay, and then tell me a little bit more about the particulars of your geoengineering question.
A lot of people believe that all of the flooding, all of the storms, all of the earthquakes, the volcanoes, the aurora borealis, and we'll get to the sun in a little bit, that this is all man-made, not meaning climate change, but meaning humanized weather weapons at this time, and having nothing to do with Gaia having a fever.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for re-presencing that particular question. You will see that significant pieces of it are answered in the previous communication, but let's go a step further, shall we? If you are following those who are based in in truth, in science. If you have allowed for yourself to identify, and you do not need to do this on your own, of course, these souls in human experience have already been identified, then you will know. You will know that this is not an engineered event. You will know that not all things can fall into one category or another. Yes, the humans are quite powerful, especially when they band together and when they plant ideas. That is perhaps their greatest power these days, is just how easy it is to shift ideas by creating fear, by amplifying fear, and by playing on those fears again and again until the people have no other option but to grab on and try to follow in a direction that seems as though it might alleviate the fear or have an answer, an antidote to it. So what I would say is this: let there be no mistake. I am suffering greatly, and my storms and my explosions and my responses to this are all in an effort to rebalance. This will be known, better understood, better proven approximately 10 to 15 years from now. This is not anything that you need to worry about in terms of waiting. In fact, quite the opposite. Within that time frame, you will find that you will not have options, that you will leave yourselves without any clear path. So now is the moment, is the time. Are there others who are planting quite detailed stories about the empowerment of humans, about just how deeply humans are, let us say, intrinsically motivated towards negative, towards destruction? There is great storytelling around that. Here's what I know of my beautiful humans. My beautiful humans are good. My beautiful humans want life to thrive. My beautiful humans, in their deepest ways, can understand and see themselves and their neighbor and their others, and even who they call their enemies, as parts of themselves. And so I know and hold this to be evident. I know this truth to be so, and I will hold this energy and endlessly, this understanding completely. And as for me, I am this. I am Earth as you know it. I am going nowhere because I am tasked with creating and sustaining and maintaining and protecting and serving life. That is my role. That is my call. That is what I do.
Thank you. Do you have, and speaking to Mother Earth Gaia, coming from a Judeo-Christian perspective, there's this concept of father knows best or mother knows best, or that we can do something wrong and have to pay or be punished for it. Do you love all your children to where this is not punishment, this is not harm? Maybe it's karma, consequence, but where this is only steering, guidance, and love.
Beautifully spoken, beautifully asked. Yes, yes. Just as I have illustrated, I love the worms as I do the horses, as I do the cheetahs, as I do the humans, as I do the birds, as I do the trees, as I do what you call the weeds. I find that hilarious. Weeds, as if something were lesser than in plant form, because you simply do not wish it to grow up between the cracks of your pavement or in your garden. And so I bring humor to all of the titles that you all have given. But yes, I love all equally and massively and completely. And there is none that is greater than any other. There is none that is meant to be in domination over any other. This is at its finest. I am at my purest, a beautiful, beautifully, intricately, perfectly designed life sourcing mechanism that maintains homeostasis, balance, harmony, love, exchange, perfect exchange, always when things are peaceful, when things are stable, when there is connection. And so where there is not, you will see exactly what you see. And I appreciate so very much that you are asking this question, because I will never bring punishment. I will bring the most obvious of responses to to that which is occurring. And here's the thing about the responses. They are somewhat latent. So as you, for example, deforest, and as you create distancing between yourself and forest life, and as you decimate the life that is meant to sustain and to exchange gases and fluids and cleanse the air and hold the soil in place and all of the beautiful things that a forest does. As you decimate this, as you destroy this, you will not see necessarily the immediate effects. The effects you are seeing right now, these roiling storms, as you know them to be, the increase in the intensity, this is with the passage of time, dearest ones. This is not an immediate reaction response. And this is how it is easy for humans to disengage. They think, well, there is no problem here. There is nothing wrong here if we do this or take that or exploit this area, because there is a delay. You think of it as a delay because you are measuring things in terms of time. Of course, the effects are immediate, but what you will see of them and the ongoing nature of them, this has been going on for a long stretch of time. So if you keep that in mind, it will remind you, it will recenter you in the fact of what I have said, which is the time is now. There is no time for delay. These behaviors, these actions, they must be changed if you wish to have an inhabitable planet, life forms that are supported, sustained, for there to be enough for all. This has changed over time. It has changed.
Thank you. Then what is the one single most important thing we do as individuals and as a collective?
As individuals, I ask that you find a species to love. And this can be plant, animal. For some, you may even find that the mineral world is yours to love. For some, you may find that the living waters are yours to love. For others, it will be, it is already known, the greatest love that they have. For the two that are in conversation right now, of course, the tree beings, among others, are high up on the list. And if you can identify these beings, if you can allow for your love and the pain and grief of loss and turmoil and suffering to touch you, then you will be doing exactly what is necessary for part two, which is the collective. If you find that being, those beings with whom you feel deep resonance, you feel some sense of responsibility for everyone, every human on the planet does possess some sense of responsibility for another living being or species. It could be humans for humans. It could be humans towards felines, canines, equines. You can go on and on with this, but if you can find it, then the collective will start to gather in these groups. I understand that humans do their best work in groups when they find what you call their tribes, when they find their depth of connection, the places where they can feel safe to express they call it weird love of worms, for example. They might call it their weird tree hugging propensities. Whatever it is, when they gather together in group, that is a collective in and of itself. They validate, they fortify, they laugh, they share, there's joy, there's commitment, and then there is the fiery way of being in service to that which is in service to life. And so this is as simple as I can make it. This is as simple as it gets. You do not have to become overwhelmed. Please do not become overwhelmed, for that takes you right into the place of fear, and that takes you right into the place of impossibility. And as I have said, and I hope it is perfectly clear right now, nothing is impossible.
Thank you. Since funny that you bring up the worms, because I was looking at a news story last night or this morning about going deep beneath the deepest part of the ocean. And their explorers found in volcanic tubes beneath the ocean seawater that must be under tremendous pressure And inside of those volcanic tubes beneath the ocean were worms, up to 1.5 foot long worms, and little fish that shouldn't have been able to exist. So I'm so fascinated that you brought up worms today, and it begets a real sci-fi question, a Jules Verne level question. Could humanity exist? Does humanity exist on some level beneath the mantle, beneath the ocean, or beneath the sea?
Ooh, okay. Let me respond to the could it. Could it? Of course. Have you heard me not repeat now 3, 4, perhaps 5 times? Nothing is impossible. I say this because in my eons of existence, I have seen everything become possible. And so, could humanity exist under such compressed conditions? Could humanity exist below surfaces that have yet to be discovered? Of course, anything is possible. I leave all possibility to the creativity of the human mind, for I have seen it do tremendous good, tremendously, oh, I don't even know what that word is. Um, yeah, tremendous ideas still in play, unfolding as we are speaking and listening to one another, things that have never before been believed to be possible. So I would say, yes, that is possible. Does it currently exist? Part 2 of your question, is humanity existing below and beneath these layers? Well, if I were to tell you, you might think there wasn't any further need to explore. So I shall not tell you, and you shall continue to explore.
Thank you. Mhm. How much is fear dictating our outer circumstances, and what do we do about that?
You have probably heard this before from those that you have elevated to wise teacher status. And that is in order to redirect the energy of fear, one must tap into the purest energy of love. It is at its most simplest this. And so humans, understandably, do not like to lean into their fears. They do not like to peel away the layers of their fears. There's concern that as they start to explore that there will be more of the same, greater fears, or a validation of those fears, or the outcome of those fears. And so what I can tell you is that you needn't go there right now. You needn't go into the examination of the fears. What is most important is that you place yourselves in service to life. What is most important is that you place yourselves in service to life. If you do so, you will find that fear moves still alongside you, but becomes not the amplified directorship voice, but rather the voice that is chattering and shivering in the background, because fear is just that. It is fear, and it is and its task, the task of the ego, as you speak of it, is to keep one safe. But I can tell you this, if you are in service to life, you will be safe. For safety does not come in necessarily longevity or the passing of years in the body upon me. It comes through the knowing that you are activating the purpose of your spirit, of your soul, to be in care of, to be in love with, to be in service to life. And so I will bring you back to this again and again and again. Where do you cherish life, and where are you willing to show up for it? And where can you recognize that your fear has been the guiding factor, and your fear is being fed constantly by the stories all around you? There can be no one who mutes these stories other than you. There can be no one who chooses the path of service, of care, of love, of interconnectivity, of interbeing other than you. This has to be a solitary choice, but it can exist within a collective experience. So find these groups, your tribe, your people, who are in service in ways that you have not yet been, and do not judge yourself for being behind. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be asking the questions that you are asking, to be distressed and disturbed in the ways that you are, so that you can be part of what you would call a solution. I call it coming back into harmony with life, because that is what I serve, and that is what I know you serve as well. And so I call you back to the truth of who you are, and what can be done about the fears that are being fed and that are being sourced and that are being delivered to you on the regular. You identify the sources of those and you shut them off.
Thank you. Do you have specifically a soul yourself? And do you have spirit guide, source, universe, something or someone that you go to in times of need? For instance, I could think maybe you go into prayer as well, saying, please help save all of my children.
I give space to the exquisiteness of this question. I am the most vast piece of creation. And so I am always in connectivity and in conversation and in community with creation, with creator. And so you can say that as the humans have their identified and labeled spirit guides and souls and essences and source and all the other many labels that the human mind does in fact need to make sense of the world, you can say that I am all of that that is of the highest, loving, purest, deeply compassionate vibrational field is what I am. And I do have my own set and sorts of prayers, as you have said. My prayer is always that there will be the turning back, the coming home, for those who feel afraid, for those who feel lost, for those who feel disconnected, for those who know that this is a great and beautiful and perfect opportunity to be in service to all life. That is my prayer, that they return home, come back to face, come back to the table to face and share with me, who will always, always receive them with the greatest love, with complete non-judgment, with the simplest of welcome home.
Thank you. I believe we're going to go to the sun in a minute, but before we do that, are you in communion or communication with other planets? And if so, who's your favorite?
Now, let's be real for a moment. If you have heard me and believe me when I say that I do not love a human over a worm, do you think that I have a favorite planet over any other? So I leave you to your own answer to that, dearest human. But I ask you this, who is your favorite planet? I'm very curious here.
Well, for me, I'm going to choose the one that I'm on right now. I would definitely subscribe to the Be Here Now and grab the bucket and start bailing water.
Yeah. And find your people, like she says. We are the groups. What I'm seeing in the transmission of these messages is she keeps showing the solitary experience that we have in our aloneness and often our loneliness. And that's where our despair and our overwhelm continues to generate. and where we continue to absorb what others are telling us is the truth or what's impossible. And then she shows me these groups, these I know she said, tribes, but these are just words that we know as people. These groups who are already here, already waiting for our, the raising of our hands and to say, may I join? Yes, you may. Here's your task. Or yes, you may. We're not completely cohesive just yet, but please be with us in the beginning, in the initiation of this. And here's what we are in service to. These already exist. We're not doing anything new. We are not creating something that's not already here. She's not asking us to do the impossible because she says nothing's impossible. So to go back to your initial question, is she okay? Nope, she's not okay. Will she be okay? Let's see how humanity, what the actions are, because she will be different regardless as she continues to change as a result of human behaviors and actions and thoughts that we choose to believe.
Thank you. So then let's go to the sun. I can hear the Beatles. Thank you. Always my channeling goes and gives me songs and movies and images. And right now it's the Beatles saying, "Here comes this. Da, 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 here comes the sun." Can we have you channel the sun right now? And specifically, the question I want to ask is, if humanity, if all of Earth is experiencing an overabundance of heat and energy right now, then why the solar storms and how do they serve us?
Mm. Well, hello, bright one. Takes one to know one, eh? So let us convene here and let us say that as my sister, the earth, has well educated, there will be so much important information coming down the pathways to the human understanding within the next 10 to 15 years. For those who are overeager, this may be dissatisfying to hear, but stay the course and continue to study the data. For those of you scientifically minded, as you like to say, I dare say that all are scientifically minded, for the minds in general are gathered and assembled in much the same way. So here's what I would want you to know. The storms, as you call them, solar storms and flares and such, are, yes, a response to energetics that are occurring globally, not simply globally upon the earth, but out into the ethers, galaxies, etc. And if you were to study with the same attention other galactic and galaxy energies, beings, forms, etc., you would find very similar storms, as you call them, upheavals. This is sort of a reaction, equal reaction physics sort of nature that you could apply to this. So as what is known, which is really quite limited at present, of what has been attributed to me and to the flare-ups or to the studyable data that can be understood, I am responding to what is taking place all around. There is, of course, increased experience of heat, but is that really me generating more heat, or is that the protective mechanisms that used to be in great place for the humans not to detect or measure it in quite these amounts? So through science, that the layering that has been put in place quite perfectly for protection of ultraviolet radiation, heat radiation, and the like. There are gaps, there are holes, there is a disintegration, again, from human activities, from human behaviors, from chemical disbursements. And that continues. And so a part of you is wondering, should you expect more of the same? I would give a nod to that. Why wouldn't you? If the activities continue on, of course, you would expect more of the same. You are also wondering, though you did not ask, if I am in any suffering at all. And I believe you did not ask it because there is somewhat of a presumption that a fiery ball, such as myself, must always be okay. But that is not the case. For if life and my sister, Earth, for example, are not okay, and there is this increase in upheaval in energy, I will feel that too. So I am not saying necessarily that I am suffering, but I am saying that I am responding to that which is active, to that which is true, and tossing about compressed energy in a very natural, and you will come to understand it greater as natural way to rebalance, to reestablish a steady foundation. It is hard to explain this because there is not sufficient information that has been shared just yet. And now you are saying, great, so provide us, won't you, with that information? But, but here is where we are limited. We are not tasked with providing this information, for this information will only be believed and taken as truth if it can be tested, if there can be scientific method applied to it. And where we can overstep or intrude on the path of humanity to discover what needs to be discovered in just the nick of time, most likely, must be discovered by humanity. And so I speak collectively here, are sorry if that disappoints. For of course, there will be some level of disappointment. But what we know is that you are oh so very close, you dear humans who study and learn and are open to possibilities and to information, true and solid information and truth. You are so very close to understanding exactly what needs to be understood in the exact moment you need it. And this will be sourced to you and fed to you on an as needed basis. It is true that to have too much information all at once can be not only disruptive, but can contribute to the distress that is being experienced. And that is not our role or our desire.
Thank you. And who sets up these rules, or this what is tasked and what is not tasked, that says what humanity can and cannot know at this time? And how is it decided that it is beneficial to bring humanity just to the razor's edge? Is this like teaching teaching a baby not to burn themselves on the stove by letting them get too hot, but not close enough to fully burn? How is this done?
You see value to that, don't you? That is why you chose the example that you did. What harm will come to a small child who feels the slight singe of heat, whereas it will not be whereas the skin will not be blistered or damaged, but whereas there can be some discomfort, that will track a neurological pathway for them to protect themselves, to know, to understand, and even to have more curiosity around. So I dare say, dear one, you have answered a big part of your own question, as you typically do, as is very natural for you, as you are inviting and including others in this part of the walk with you. So gratitude, bow of gratitude there. And in terms of who decides, No, no, there is not a who that decides. There is a whole, there is a whole, WHOLE. Things are being, quote, decided on the individual and the collective basis all of the time. Decisions are being made and then retraced, retracted, and then new ones. And so there is nothing by way of an exact mapping that will say who is dictating and determining how the humans will learn. There is this soft and also fierce and also furious and also gentle wave-like balancing. See, if you will, the infinity symbol and a ball moving around it, crossing through the middle, around the sides. This is more of the flow that is happening. And humans, as you probably have noticed, learn best and perhaps only through trial, error, and behavioral interaction. And so this can be that this is only experience. This learning can only take place through that mode. We could give you all of the information, all of the mapping, all of the truths, and still there would be questioning, doubt, naysaying, pushing back against. We dare not give information that could be pushed back against, for this will, what is that word? Like taint. This will taint the information to a point or place where it becomes murky, mucky, muddied. And how can one then determine what is true, even if the truth was handed to you in scrolls, in print, undoubtable, and with certainty? So there isn't a singular one who is saying what shall and shall not be with regards to who can and cannot provide information from this perspective that you are asking. It is an interplay of human capacity, of human curiosity, of human openness, willingness, and also, of course, as I have said, the trial and error, which is required to prove anything, so that there may be trust and belief in information.
I think the long and short of it is no, we're not going to tell you right now.
Yeah, it's not for us to know right now. It would be disruptive to our development. It would be disruptive to our human, what we can actually show ourselves and each other and life of our care and our love and what's possible here.
What are you hearing from any spirit, from any soul about our development, about where humanity is at, and if this is a natural order of things to be going through this or putting ourselves on the razor's edge?
Okay. You want to ask that of the sun, or you want to ask that of me?
We can. I'm asking, what have you heard, or if there is a particular spirit we should go to ask, or soul we should go to.
Those of us who are here now have, of course, our souls have chosen, I believe, to be here now and to hold the tension of what is devastating and also what is beautiful, so that we can lead and follow, because not everyone identifies as a leader and not everybody needs to be, but we're the leaders of ourselves, and follow that which is bringing back the center point of love. And you can call that balance and harmony and the thriving of life. And that's the purpose of that is everything. Like what we will learn from, with a potential for that, is for humans to create life opportunities in so many different directions. I know there's some, exploration of life on other, can we sustain human life on other planets? Well, let's do this, right? And learn from this, because it has everything that we need. the waters and the sun and the sky, everything to sustain life. And if we can get this, and I don't mean get it right, because it's always unfolding and we're going to make mistakes and we're tripping and falling on our faces all of the time. But if we can come back to each other and our love of life, then we have shown that, I believe, that we've earned our place on, not in a hierarchy at all, but in terms of the living into the true essence of who we are, which is love. And I know that sounds so simplistic, but that really is at the foundation of everything. And when you divide things into those simple files of love versus fear, and you can feel on a daily basis where things are more dominant right now, this is a massive movement to return to love. And that is what I believe all of this upheaval is guiding us towards. It's a choice point, and we're here for it.
Is it something, and maybe we go to the galaxy on this one. I'm curious if this is something that other civilizations of other beings, and we're all the same being, we're all energy being put into one meat suit or another, but that other, we'll call it planets, have gone through as well.
So we'll just call this the galaxy that we're channeling from. The vastness is actually what the name that I'm being given. Simple answer to that beautiful question. Are all experiencing something similar? We would say no. We would say no. This is something so very unique, and why so very many of the souls are clamoring in, really elbowing their way through the many layers to have an opportunity to be there, Earthside, to be in the meat suit, as you call it, and not just the souls that wish for human experiences, but the souls that wish for animal experiences, plant experiences, all sorts of life forms are clamoring to come in. You can see that the tunnel narrows. There is a stenosis of sorts, a clogging, a narrowing, to only allow in so many, because there is danger here in the overpopulating, in the overconsumption, etc. So no, in terms of what is specific to your beloved planet, to your Earth mother going through, this is not being replicated in other planetary in other planetary beings. This is very, very unique to that which supports the variety and the array and the web of life that your beautiful one does. And so thank you for asking about that. If you would like to know where your energy and your time is best utilized, for that is a question we can hear you asking as well. It will be right where you are, the one upon which you live, the one that you are in service to and in reciprocity with. That is where your time, your energy, and your focus is best served for now and throughout the remainder of this lived lifetime. We would like to say this for all those who have their eyes in space, for all those who love to study through the powerful telescopes and to understand more about what exists all around. We are not saying do not study that. Do satisfy that deep curiosity within yourself. But when you are looking for where to apply yourself, it is there where you stand, who supports you, who feeds you, who offers to you every bit of the resources that is required for the sustaining of physical life. It is there. I love that. We're being redirected.
Thank you. The last question for the galaxy, and then I'm not sure who's going to answer this last wrap up or two question, which is, are we going to be welcomed in via ETs or ourself from other time or space or dimensions? Are we going to be welcomed into a galactic family only after we find stability here on Earth, or to help us find stability and new harmony here on Earth?
Well, they welcome you now. They have always welcomed you. Do you welcome them? Is that a more appropriate question? Of course it is. For again, this is where fear can come into play. There is existence, as you likely know, for you can feel it, of these extra beings. Let us call them. We'll just call them extra beings. There is presence. There is care. There is love. There is opportunity for them to teach. Opportunity for those embodied as humans to learn. So they are here, and the question remains as to when they will be welcomed. And will it be as a result of a deep need? Yes. And will it be the result of will it be the result of a deep need from the side of humans who need the help, support, assistance, additional information, guidance, insight, etc.? Yes. And will it be from the place of their of the extra being's deep desire to be included and to become part of this beautiful fabric? Yes, it is both. In this particular question, so beautifully worded, we honor that, and it is both.
Now, I'm guessing this is a question for the galaxy, although it could also be for the soul of Jupiter or the soul of the Jupiter's moon Europa, since we've just sent a spacecraft there, which will arrive in, or I do believe do its investigations around 2030. Is there life as we know it? So carbon-based life forms like squids or octopus or whales that don't need oxygen inside or swimming inside of Europa's ocean?
This is something that we've come for, right? It'd be like taking away, like telling someone what's inside their holiday or Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever gift before they open it, right? This is what we're here for, especially for those that are, deeply curious about it, like yourself, to find out, to be given the map, like, yeah, hey, by the way, this is already here, just so you know, but go ahead, send your satellites, send your cameras, you'll figure it out. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. And the only way we're going to believe it is if we find it out.
Fair enough. All right. Earlier, I asked the question, what's the one thing we can do? And I heard come together as groups. But I'd like more on the understanding from a physics, from a science point of view. Do we shut off fossil fuels yesterday? Or is there something else right now, here in this moment, that each of us needs and gets to do?
So much of this depends on how much humans are willing to experience suffering. And so far as can be told, there is a great acceptance and allowing of suffering until it is one's own self that is experiencing the vast suffering. It seems as though many believe it is outside the realm of possibility for it to touch them. As you know, this is changing through the non-preference, non-delineation of one group or area of the world or humanity over any other. There is no specific direction that storms will head, and no particular exclusive area that fires will rage. It is everywhere, all at once. So what you are asking is, should drastic measures have been taken already? Indeed, this cannot be argued. Anyone who presents argument to this is pushing falsehoods. So what to do with what isn't being done? Simply said, do it. Insist upon it. Do your part individually. Share your part with your collective, your group, and allow for yourself to be an inspiration to others, both in the struggle and in the example and in the emotional truth and expression that occurs with making massive changes that would be considered enormously inconvenient for the purpose of restabilizing and regenerating that which is living. I ask that you recall that the task is twofold. It is the individual actions that must occur now, and the sharing of those actions as you activate in the groups to take it further. The most massive change that humans have been able to enact that have led to a restabilizing of cultures, of races, of people all around has come from this twofold approach. It is as simple as I can make it. I do hope there will be devotion to it. So I want to say this because I feel like a lot of us, myself included, are waiting for this major change. Well, when will we pull away from fossil fuels, and when will we, do this? We will do this quicker when on an individual level we are committing to it individually within ourselves and our families. And she's saying, oh yeah, that's terribly inconvenient. So inconvenient. And yet that is actually it, because then we are inspiring others to do the same. Then we have others to complain about with how inconvenient it is. But right now, it's just like we're waiting for systems and structures that are built not to do this, to insist upon this. That's silly. That's not going anywhere quickly. But we can do this. We're made for this time.
Are you hopeful?
The word hope is a little bit sticky because it kind of feels like, well, I'll just hold it and not be in action. And it doesn't feel like an action word. But I know that we are limitless in what we can affect and what we can change. And I see love growing on a moment-to-moment basis. And I'm reading the books and learning from the teachers who are making the difference. And I'm following that. So yes, I hold the vision that we're rising to the occasion.
Thank you. And what's the one most striking or shocking, not in a fear-based shock way, but the one thing that you've heard from Gaia or from elsewhere in the universe about what humanity is going through right now, where you've gone, oh my God?
The thing that makes me go, oh my God, is when I look at the forest as a model for us humans and the mycelial network that is on. Yeah, that makes me go, oh my God, all.
Love it.
Yes, yes.
The
And
telephone
it's a
network of the
teacher.
world.
It's a model for us. So that I continue to come back to the exploration of that, the model.
And I'll pause for those who don't know. Mycelial network is I'm going to call it a carpet. It's basically the fungi that are all connected as if it's the neural network of our brain, below every tree, below every bush, below every quote unquote weed worldwide. There is one beingness that's sprouting out of the soil, and it starts from that mycelial carpet or connection.
Yes. And what the forest does is it nurtures all of the life around it. It sends sugars and carbon and whatever are needed for the plants around it. So it doesn't distinguish in a hierarchical sort of way. And it communicates. And that's us. That could be us. I see that as us.
Cool. Very, very cool. Where can people go to find your work, Stephanie, and to find out more?
Sure. So you can go to my website, soulinsight.com, and I'm on social media, Stephanie Intuitive Channel.
Beautiful. And what is the one most important thing that you would want to leave people with today, which is actually 2 days before Thanksgiving in the US? I'm recording this in Quebec, where we just had Thanksgiving. I get 2 Thanksgivings this year.
In honor of Thanksgiving, I would want to invite people to really examine what they're bringing literally to the table. What's on your dishes? What's on your plates? Is it in service to life?
As a card-carrying-ish vegan or gentleman with vegan tendencies, I have no judgment here in this question. I may or may not have had a king rooster as a pet for years, but no judgment in this question.
This is one of the most powerful things that we can do in service to life, is to examine what we're nourishing ourselves with. So do that. You'll know.
Beautiful. Thank you. This has been awesome. This has been beautiful. This has been treacherous. This has been scary. And I have had a kitty this almost entire show that was led into the studio who is just wanting to bump the mic cord loose with everything she's got. So if people see me going like this, it is trying to block Kitty the entire time since this mic cable. It's a relatively new mic. They've gone with a cheaper mechanism. And so it's died quickly this time. And so the cable comes loose starting last night just by breathing on it. And she's like, oh, I'm on it.
Animals love channeling, as you know. So they're always going to want to gather and play in the energy that's coming.
Yeah. And she is doing just that. So got to say thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Lots of love. Oh my gosh. I actually, as a last note, the idea of coming together in community and service, both on an individual basis and a collective basis, I think that's everything. And so this is a very powerful message today. So I cannot thank you enough.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Michael.
So for everyone out there, this is Michael Sandler and the Love Bug saying, be well, have fun, get in service, step forward. No, we can make it, but we get to make some important decisions today. And above and beyond all else, shine bright. Woohoo! How does it get any better than this? Love Bug, do you want to make an appearance now that without breaking anything here on the table? There we go. Do you want to say anything? Yes, you are a wonderful cat dog. Wow. That was a really fun special. You had to fasten your seats and hold on for this one for sure to hear from the sun, the sun, the earth, the sun, the galaxies. But I think there's a powerful message behind there about coming together as one, coming together as groups. I had no plan on segueing on those exact words, but we have a school of mystics where we do come together as one, come together as groups, come together as the sun which we are to vibrate at the highest level and make changes on this planet by making changes on the inside. How does it get any better than this? If you would like to shift your energy and learn how to play and live at that highest level, come to that link down below. Come join us in the School of Mystics. 4 Wednesdays each and every month, 4th Wednesday being a clearing each and every month to get you light as well. That's that link down below. If you want to learn how to channel, how to communicate with your angels, with your guides, with your loved ones, with the earth, with the sun, with the sky, with the moon, with whomever or whatever, simply go to that next link down below. That's automaticwriting.com, automaticwriting.com, a live class once every month as well to help get you started in a single evening, help get you channeling. And if you'd simply like to bring your energy up, way up on a daily basis, simply go to Daily Woohoo. That's the next link down below, dailywoohoo.com, where I put out a daily newsletter, a story, and attunement to help bring your energy up each and every day. That's dailywoohoo.com. Here's a link to the next amazing show. Love you so much. Keep on shining bright. And yes, how does it get any better than this? We've got this. We can do this. We can do this. And you can do it too. I send all my love your way. Woohoo! Right, Love Bug?